That time of the year again, the transfer window is back open, and as always, so many links, so many rumors. So we're just going to dive into a few of them that seem to be a bit picking up too much. I'm not going to talk about all of them because we could be here for days on days. But the first one I want to start with is Leroy Sane, because there's been a lot of talks about Leroy Sane. They're saying either Arsenal or Tottenham. And this is a transfer that I'd happily say I don't mind Arsenal taking, because I've seen a tweet from Sasha was Travaglierli. I don't know how to say that name, so butcher me if you want. But he tweeted today that Tottenham are able to offer Leroy Sane an indisputable starting place on the right wing. Spurs have offered Sane a 4-year contract, currently in pole position to land the player. Now, the first part, I don't agree with the indisputable starting place on the right wing, because let's be honest, I think our forward line needs to improve anyway. So adding additions, yes, is not a bad thing. Obviously, he's a left-footed player as well, so that's something we don't actually have in our team. Someone that plays right wing on the left foot, but I don't know how I feel about it. Sane's what, 29 years old now, I believe. He's got a few injury problems as well, and look at our luck with injuries. I just don't. What's the point in signing a player that can't? It's not. I think in Premier League level now, going into it, we're going to be playing Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Yes, we're not going to win all of them, but coming off the back of last season, I want to win another trophy. So whether that be the FA Cup, well, it's probably going to be the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. Let's be honest, but you're going to be playing 50 games a season minimum, I'm guessing, as a player. So if you have not proven that your body cannot last 50 games a season, then I just don't even want to be involved in it, because what's the point? We're going to sign players for a team that clearly already struggles with injuries, and you're going to sign another player that's potentially going to be another injury. For example, let's go with James Maddison. I love James Maddison as well, so I'm not digging him out here. But James Maddison, when we signed him from Leicester, we knew he had a few niggling issues here and there. He's come to Tottenham and he hasn't had one full season where he's been fit. So the demands and the rigors of the Premier League, I think that's something that we need to look at now when you're signing players as well, because the Premier League is so physical now. The running pace of it, the pace of the game is just so physical. You need to be getting in. You cover a lot of distance in Premier League football if you want to be a top team anyway. But yeah, so you need players that are players with that them battle hardened bodies nowadays. And just Leroy Sane has just not got evidence of that as well. Yes, he's a good player. Yes, he's experienced. Yes, he's played Champions League level. I'm not saying he's a bad player one bit, but I just think right now we need a player that's going to guarantee. Give me. I could take 5 games off it. Guarantee me 40 games a season, and maybe we could talk about it. But I just don't think Leroy Sane does that, to be honest. So I don't know how I feel about the transfer, to be honest. I'm guessing he's going to come in on quite a high salary as well. So what's the point in just using the salary up on a player that obviously, yes, you want players for the now, but come on, you can probably get a player 25 to 27 that's going to give you more than Leroy Sane can. And yeah, there's someone that can be found that's better. Um, Jarrad Branthwaite. We've been linked with him. I know Daily Mail was saying that Spurs are showing an interest in Jarrad Branthwaite. I know that we were actually interested him in what was it, January as well. Obviously, when we made that late bid for Mark Gehi, Brantford, decent player as well. I believe he's left-footed as well. So obviously, in terms of left-footed centre backs, yes, we've got Van der Ven, but we go back to the subject of injuries. Van der Ven clearly can't do a whole season. So Brantford, yes, is a very good replacement as well. Brantford probably going to come in. I guess you can guarantee him 30 games a season probably if you split out with Van der Ven. Ben Davis, don't know what's happening with him yet because he's out of contract, but Spurs obviously didn't put that on the retain list when they talked about Fraser Forster, Reguilon, Werner, Kevin Dancer. Obviously, Kevin Dancer is staying. But so does that mean Ben Davis is staying? Maybe. I saw obviously Wrexham talks with him, so does he go? But anyway, so like another left-footed centre back is something that we definitely need. Branthwaite once again. I believe he's played for England. I think he's made his debut. I know he's definitely been called up to a squad, whether he played or not. Shoot me down if he didn't, but I believe Branthwaite, yeah, I like the look of him. Obviously, I know he went on a spell out. Was it in final PSV or somewhere in Holland? Obviously, that type of football's more on the floor as well, and I know he really flourished in in that system. So he's obviously very good with the ball at his feet, and that's what obviously the modern day they look for in modern day centre backs. Uh, Jarrad Branthwaite, yes, obviously, if we could get him, uh, I'd be over the moon. You see, obviously, a couple of the Everton pages saying that yes, he's happy at Everton, which I don't doubt. Obviously, they're going into their new stadium. They're finally looking a bit more stable under a manager. But two things in football: first of all, money talks. When you've got people like agents and managers and people around the players that know that they're going to get paid off a move, I think they'll try and get Jarrad Branthwaite if the money's right. Because come on, they want to get paid. As bad as cynical it might sound, the people around him are going to want to get paid. So if there's a Tottenham bid, or let's say, well, we're not going to talk about any other team, but let's say there's a Tottenham bid on the table for 60 mil. I'm saying 60 mil, 65 mil. And what if they can make a little 5 million drink on that? You're telling me they're going to say, yes, stay at Everton, mate? No, they're not. They're going to try and take the 5 million. So if there's a move to be had, I'm sure it will happen. We've also got Champions League football as well, and that's obviously something Everton can't guarantee Jarrad Branthwaite probably for the next couple of seasons. That obviously, don't get me wrong, anything can happen, but I'm not really expecting Everton to be in the Champions League spots for the next sort of 3 to 5 years, obviously until they build. But I think Everton will be back. But anyways, we're obviously competing at a higher level. Yes, we finished learning the Premier League, but I think Jarrad Branthwaite, that would be a good bit of business if we could get that done. And finally, the last one I want to talk about is obviously a player that's currently at Tottenham, but that is Mathys Tel. CF Bayern posted today, that's like that Christian Fort guy. Bayern want to renegotiate with Tottenham for Mathys Tel's departure. The German Giants are willing to demand less than the agreed clause of 50 million, which is 60 million euros, and could lower their asking price to 30 million, 35 million euros. Now, perfect. Absolutely perfect. Mathys Tel, yes, he's not set the world on fire since he's come, but I think we can all agree that he got better and better, and he probably showed us his best performances towards the back end of the season when he started playing more off the left. Obviously, we know Son's getting older as well, so we need more replacements on that left hand side anyway. Yeah, 30 million pounds, 35 million euros. Yes, it's a lot of money, but in terms of Premier League football, that's pretty much a bargain in football as well. Um, I'm very happy for that one to be made permanent. He's a good player, and I think he'll go on to do decent, very decent things as well. Like, I don't know what strikes me about Mathys Tel, and I think this sums him up a lot. Obviously, he's a very good dribbler as well. Sometimes he over dribbles, sometimes he might try it. But going back to the last game of the season, we played Brighton. Yes, everyone was in absolute party mode as well because of their absolute celebrations after the Europa League victory. But I remember Mathys Tel were 1-0 up. I can't remember who put him through, but he went through one on one, and the finish just wasn't sharp, and he got saved. And I think them sort of things at the higher level, you're probably gonna have to put them chances away to be known as one of the top guys. But as someone that's 19, I think maybe he's just turned 20 now. That's something I think he can still improve on, and obviously probably is going to improve on them. So Mathys Tel for £30 million is an absolute steal, to be honest, and I'll take that. And yeah, you guys let me know what you think about these transfer links as well, because you keep and tell what you feeling about Jarrad Branthwaite. Do you feel Leroy Sane? Am I just being a bit too negative on that one? Let me know what you think in the comments, and we'll be back because there's going to be plenty more transfers dropping this summer. So probably do a daily catch up on the Tottenham transfers, see what they're saying. And we'll be back. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash the like button, and we'll be back. Peace and love.